Well, hello and welcome back. Thank you for coming back. The idea of this video is to show you the route from the Tomb of the Kings area out to the Coral Bay area. A lot of people know where Tomb of the Kings is. A lot of people stay in Tomb of the Kings. You can go on a bus, taxi, on foot, it's quite a long walk, or you could have a scooter or that sort of thing. It's about 15 kilometers, that's about 12 miles, somewhere around there. So stick with us as the girl in charge of the ship, that's her, Masochi Receiving Booth.
Hello everybody, how nice to see you again and again.
And again. So stick with us, off we go, Receiving Booth, let's go. So this is the main road from Paphos, Tomb of the Kings area, so that's the Paphos Mall, the Kissos Hotel, the Avida Hotel, all of those places are in the area called Tomb of the Kings, and this is the main road that just goes straight all the way to Coral Bay, Peia and the St George area, and we'll pass through Scenic and Lower Chloraka on our travels. So stick with us and we'll try and give you some bearings and some focal points as we go on our way. The first main focal point coming up on our left very shortly is a restaurant called Alice Land with a spectacular view out to the blue Mediterranean Sea, and then just after that is the King Elephant. How do you say it?
King Evelthon.
King Evelthon, or as I've renamed it, and it will be forever until the day they knock it down in history, the King Elephant Luxury 5-star hotel. We've just been in there, if you're curious to know, and we did a hit and run for some people, and we bumped into a young man called Mr. Tom, and we had a little chat with him. He's on camera very briefly, but we sat down afterwards and had a little chat. An absolutely wonderful young man who's come out with his two sisters and his mum and dad, and they're having a great holiday. First time in Cyprus, and he said he loved it so much he'd like to come again. So there we are. And they're all the way from Northampton, and he was telling us about the heat wave that went on a couple of weeks ago, and he said it was absolutely wonderful, but it was boiling, so it wasn't so wonderful, and then it was wonderful. Excellent.
Yeah, eventually he said it was wonderful.
Yes.
And he was a wonderful boy.
He's a lovely lad, yeah, I really liked him, and we've commented together quite often, and we promised to come and see him yesterday, but that didn't happen, and then we stormed that hotel today, and luckily we bumped into him, and great guy. I love meeting him, and I hope that one day we'll meet again. Perhaps we'll even pop to Northampton and sleep under his bed. You never know. See you later, Mr. Tom. So this is the main road now, the main thoroughfare, which we are sort of in Lower Chloraka now, I suppose you'd call it. There's confusion as to where this area actually is. But they're building an awful lot of properties here, there and everywhere. Starting price around about 350, and the reason for that price is because that's what you need to spend in order to get that permit, that residency permit to reside in Cyprus. You want a passport, that'll cost you a couple of million. But as a few people have found out, they partied with their couple of million and now their passports are being revoked. So there we go. Welcome to the world.
Yeah.
Coming up here is a brand new kiosk, a 24-hour day kiosk, and it's called the Refresh kiosk. And it's a very good kiosk actually, it sells absolutely everything. So if you are in this Lower Chloraka area and there's something that you want, well, that's the place to go. They sell grapes, cans of Coke, coffee, hats, sunglasses, fruit, blow-ups, anything you can possibly want to. And then next door to that is Cafe Me, which is a coffee shop, but it's been made out of a retro double-decker bus. I don't know what's going on here, can see the yellow booth, bit of a traffic jam.
Never been.
Never seen anything like it. Traffic jams in Paphos. What's going on in the world? What do you say?
Yeah, well, it's Moscow Avenue probably.
It's not right. Shocking. I'm going to get out of a minute, get a gun, start shooting people. Here we are. Right, so there it is. That's the Refresh 24 Market kiosk. Got a coffee shop, obviously. And then next door to it is another coffee shop, as I've just said, Cafe Me. And that's themed in the shape of a double-decker bus. And it's got an old telephone box outside it. You can drive through it, or you can park up and relax at your leisure. Quite a nice place to chill out, meet your gumbarus, and they serve quite a nice coffee, because I've been there quite a few times, and it's always busy. So it's obviously got something that's magic, that's for sure. Now, over here is the St George Church, and then that's the rear end of the St George Luxury 4-star Hotel in downtown Chloraka. Parade of shops over there. There's various businesses, and there's another parade on the other side. What is going on?
I've never seen such a traffic in this way.
All we're doing is we're just advertising jacktransportservices.com. That's a taxi firm from downtown Paphos. So there it is again, www.jackstaxiservices. No, tax. What does that say? Jack's Transport Services. Sorry, I can't read English.com. So we're promoting them at the moment because that's who we're stuck behind. Anyway, Prater shops coming up either side of us. You've got various businesses from property sellers to a doctor's. You've got a pharmacy. You've got a security services shop. You've got the Sapphire restaurant. Someone asked about that the other day. That's owned by a man called Chris King, who likes to do an Elvis impersonation every night of the week. He's also on Rock FM. Quite a nice guy. An Otching Receiver LaBouffe once popped to their old Sapphire restaurant and you gave Elvis a hug. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And she got all, well, flirty, shall we say.
I remember.
There we are. My God, what's going on? Traffic jams in Paphos. We're not even in Paphos, we're in Chloraka. Anyway, there's the J&R Kiosk Supermarket. They sell everything from bottle of wine, magazines, newspapers, cans of Coke. In fact, I fancy a can of Coke. I haven't had a can of Coke for 30 minutes. There's also an ATM over there. And then you've got the Leonardo Laura Beach and Splash Resort over there. And then on that side you've got the Angelica restaurants. You've understood what's going on?
The traffic light's broken. It's erratically showing red lights and then straight away to the stuck on the yellow. And
right, we're going. Here we go. We're going. She's right. There's something not right with the traffic lights and people are in a bit of jumbo. Anyway, there we go. We got through them eventually. Like I was saying, that's the St. George Hotel down there and that's the Lara Hotel there. So stick with us. This area, by the way, if you're staying in these hotels around here, the sunset at night is absolutely to die for. We actually have a subscriber staying in a hotel just down here, Miss Lisa, and she tells us that the only place that she will stay in Cyprus is just down here, and it's the Helios Bay Hotel. And of course, if you understand, when you walk out the back of it, there's the Barracudas Lounge. They've got a great sunset as well. But this place over here looks out towards Coral Bay, which is where the sun sets. And of course, it is a sunset that is quite simply to die for. There's also a parade of restaurants and shops as well. So it's not a bad place to come out and have a little holiday. There it is. The Helios Bay holiday apartments. Then across the road, like a bit of Indian food, you've got Papadums. See the booth?
I've never been there.
No, we haven't. But one day we might go there with Mr. Roy and Miss Tanya.
Oh.
Yes? Because he likes a bit of a curry.
He likes?
He does.
Oh, okay.
He's from Birmingham. Well, he's actually from Wolverhampton. And most people, not making fun, but most people from Wolverhampton do like a bit of a curry.
Really?
Yeah, that's how he talks. That's how he talks. He goes, I like a bit of curry. I like curry. So we'll go and have a curry. I'm making fun. Remember, I'm Welsh. You can make as much fun as you want. I've got the wellies and I've got the sheep in the boot. Right, so here we go. Now I understand that Jeremy and Simon live in Wales, but they're not actually Welsh.
They're not?
No, they're not Welsh. Are you? Well, they'll tell us if they are or not, but I don't think they're Welsh, but they live in Wales. But they've probably got the wellies, and they probably do keep a sheep in the back garden, just in case.
Nothing is wrong to love
That's how you prove that you're Welsh. There's nothing wrong with loving a curry, no. Very popular in Cyprus, because there's at least 6 or 7 curry houses that I can name.
Yeah.
And my pronunciation is absolutely Sherlock Holmes. So there we are. Now, coming up on the left-hand side is the Golden Beach Hotel. That's an Antica Group hotel. It used to be called something else, but I don't remember what it was. So they've rebranded it, and now it's one of their hotels. And they've got an even bigger one just up here, and they also operate and run the Aphrodite Hills Luxury 5-tour resort up in the Aphrodite Hills Golf Resort. There's one of our Gumbaru shops over there, the Revival shop. Miss Judith is in there because that's her little Mercedes parked outside. And then down over here you've got the Cynthiana Beach Hotel, which is literally on the beach. You've also got the Sunset Restaurant, which is a great place to go and have a meal. So that's down there. And then you've got the greatest coffee shop in the whole of Paphos here, this place here, Rafe Coffee. In my opinion, my humble opinion, and I do go to a lot of coffee shops, that one on the end is the best coffee shop in the whole of Paphos. And you've got a parade of shops either side with various businesses, gift shops, taxi shops, coffee shops, that sort of thing. And then here is that big resort that I was telling you about, and it's called the Antica Village. That's the bus going, there's a few people in it. There it is. Massive resort. Atlantica Mari Village, Paphos. We don't know anyone who's stayed in there yet. Well, so we did, and we didn't get to go and do it because they threw us out. But we apologise for that, Ash. Hopefully the next person that asks us will go and do it and we won't get thrown out. You've got another resort over here. which is the Sunset Bay. Everyone's cashing in here on the idea of the sunsets out there, and it does. And we're going to drop down now, and we're going to come to the traffic lights, which allows you to go back up into Chloraka, but we're of course going to go straight, and then we're then going to pass the CU Beach Bar, which is actually on the Chloraka beachfront, and then we're going to open up onto one of the bays just before Coral Bay, and you're going to get great views indeed, that's for sure. Christina Booth driving absolutely lovely, hands twiddling on the steering wheel as she tries to avoid all the potholes.
I think the temperature is showing 40 degrees, or it's 40 kilometers.
That's 40 kilometers. Anyway, like, at least we can't get done for speeding. There we are. Stick with us. This is the CU Beach Bar coming up, and as you can see, the car park, well, it's about half full, so that means the bar is probably very full indeed. Yeah, I can see it's pretty full. Very popular indeed, and it's got a great view. It's raised up about 5 meters above the beach, so of course it gets a spectacular view, and there are beach umbrellas and deck chairs out there. You've got the very own lifeguard, and now it opens up into the blue Mediterranean Sea. This is the cove that starts before Coral Bay, and this is the last stretch of road before we get to Coral Bay. So when we get to the next roundabout, we're going to turn left into Coral Bay. That's the Coral Bay Sunset Strip. If we were to go right, we would go up into Paphos Village, and if we were to go straight over, we would come past the Paphos massive supermarket on the right hand side, and then if we continue, we'd go to Sea Caves, and then finally we'd end up in the St George Harbour. And of course we can keep going into the Acamas and go out to the last castle, and if you want to be brave, you can actually wiggle your way all the way around and come out in Lachi. And believe it or not, I think I've said it before, this car has done it. We should have filmed it. It got through there very carefully without any damage whatsoever, and I mean no damage whatsoever. I drove very carefully and very tactfully, should we say. There was people in Jeeps thinking I was completely nuts, and I was, but there you go. I like an adventure.
What a brave couple now.
What an idiot, most people would say. There we go. So, there we go. We are on the final stretch. She was referring to 2 cyclists, and yeah, you're very brave to ride a bike in Cyprus, because one of my rants, unfortunately, most people are wearing flip-flops, drinking a frappe and holding a mobile phone in the other hand. There you go. This is the final stretch now. Christina Booth driving nice and carefully, nice and slowly. And we're going to enter the area known as Paya. Coral Bay is in Paya, if anyone's wondering. Some people understand that, some people don't. So that sign over there says, "Welcome to the Paya municipality." So this is where Paya begins. And then just up yonder is a roundabout, as I've just said. If you go right, you'll be in Paphos Village in 3 kilometres. Then you go up to Cathecus, drop down the other side and come out in Polis. But we're going to go left.
And we've been in one of the restaurants.
We've been in most of these restaurants. We've been in Ocean Bay, we've been in Pizza Hut, and we've been in this one on the end, the Fidas traditional restaurant.
That one we were,
yes.
Yeah.
That's where we've been a couple of times. Food's very good, to be fair.
Yes.
So we're going to turn left. As the sign says, this is Coral Bay. This is the Coral Bay Strip. So stick with us. We're going to drive along here, name some of these businesses, and then we're going to park up, dismount, and we're going to go for lunch if you're curious. And if you're wondering where we're going to go for lunch, we're going to go and see our gumbaros in the Othello restaurant. That's our favourite restaurant in the whole of Coral Bay. So you've got shops either side of us. You've got a gyro shop, you've got the Robert Souvenir, you've got the safari tours over there, you've got Chalky's Dirty Martini, Kikos Bar, you've got a shopping centre gift shop over there. You've got the Sirani restaurant, which is where some of our people we met the other day are going to go and eat. And then over here you've got Othello's, which is where we're going to go and eat. We're going to pop in there. Busy as usual. So let's keep going down the strip so you see what's here. And there's pretty much everything you can want. So if you're staying in Coral Bay, to be honest, you don't actually need to go to Paphos unless you want to go and hunt us down in the Paphos Harbour. Keep going a little bit. And there's the Blazing Salads. And then just over there is the Dolce Vita. You have got now a Chinese, Indian, Thai restaurant. A little bit confused as to what they want to do. And then you've got the Absolute Underground Club. And then the last business down here is the coffee shop known as the Second Cup. We're going to stop here and we're going to end our video. And we're going to say thanks very, very much.
Just stop here.
Just stop here. Think of yourself as a Cypriot, just stop.
Oh,
there we go.
That'll do. Myself.
That'll do. So.
Right. I totally enjoyed my excursion and my driving. So I'm very happy that Mr. Paul didn't even say any of shouting, just not even a little bit shouting at me. And I would like you to come and see another of our silly, lovely, funny, interesting madnesses. We are loving you to bits. Many kisses from both of us. Thank you.
What's open says, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the like, click subscribe, come back for a little bit more of our madness, and in the next video she'll have different nails and an even more beautiful ring than that. Proceeding?
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. And nice earrings.
Thank you.